Welcome everyone to today's DAC Huddle. My name, for those of you who do not know who I am or brand new, just starting, my name is Nick Duhane. I'm an independent broker with DAC, just like all of you. And today is an honor to be the quarterback for today's DAC Huddle. And I'm really, really excited to be sharing about what the topic and the subject is going to be about. The title is going to, for this DAC Huddle, is going to be pushing the needle forward. Pushing the needle forward. So I'll get into that in just a bit, but I'm going to share with all of you right now the funding story of the day that was sent to me this morning. But also keep in mind, guys, this DAC Huddle is for all of us to nurture, to receive information, to help us get out there and get after it in our DAC business. And that's why we opened it up 10 minutes, 10 minutes before the huddle starts, so we can hear other brokers sharing their testimonials of the activity that they're going into their day-to-day. So without further ado, guys, I'm going to share the funding story, and I'm going to get into the subject of the day, pushing the needle forward, in just 1 second. So here we go. Funding
Real
story,
quick,
guys.
Nick, do you have the if you can turn that the Wi-Fi on your phone off, because it's coming through good, but I think that's pulling it because it was good before, and now try that.
Okay. All right. Try that right now. How's that coming through?
Better. Yep.
A lot better? Awesome, man. Awesome. Funding story of the day, guys. 2 updates. So touched on yesterday's story, the restaurant in Florida, broker Bill Owen. The client was successfully funded for $120,000. Congratulations, Bill Owen, on this funded deal and on helping this restaurant owner secure the funds they needed. They had a couple of challenges with ownership, but the Bank Breezy team was able to resolve. Another business funding story of the day, a coaching, health, and wellness out of Tennessee. The broker is DP Business Capital. DP Business Capital, and also Bill Owen. If you guys are on and want to share at the end how you came across this client and how you got to know them, we'd love to hear your story on this client. This coaching, health, and wellness in Tennessee, out of Tennessee, they were originally presented an offer for $250,000. The client was asking for $500,000, but has another position. We were able to give a little bit more background thanks to the broker, and she pointed the Bank Breezy team to the CFO. Great job by the broker. Again, DP Business Capital, great job. Wade and the team had a conference with the COO, CFO, the vice president, and the CEO. All right, this is a big deal. They got all the heavy decision makers in one room. And the original offer was a $250,000 offer, 48 weeks at a 1.38 rate. They asked to bump it up to $300,000 and a slightly longer payback term, and work on the cost of the funds. Wade got the entire funding team at our B lender on the phone, and they talked it out. And they were able to work out a $300,000 floor rate at a 1.34, extended the term to 52 weeks, and funded it, successfully funded 45 minutes after the client accepted the offer and after they sent over all the closing steps. So congratulations to DP Business Capital with this client, helping this client secure the funds. Also, this offer had amazing prepayment discounts. If the client decides to pay it off early, if they pay it off in the first month, the total payback is reduced to 336 at a 1.12. Month 2, 1.14 is the payback. If they decide to pay it off in 3 months, a 1.16. Pay it off in 4 months, a 1.18. They pay it off in 5 months, a 1.20, and then at the 6-month period, they decide to pay it off, it's gonna be reduced down at a 1.22 factor rate. So it doesn't get any better than that. Congratulations, team. That is, I've personally never seen something like that personally through personal experience. So great job, Wade, Garrett, the whole Bank Breezy team, and especially to the broker. Again, I'm going to say his or her name, VP Business Capital. We'd love to hear the story behind this. Fantastic job, guys. And there you go. Our Bank Breezy team. This is just for any new brokers or any existing brokers, just to see the due diligence of our Bank Breezy team, getting the whole entire funding team at our B lender that was going to help them out, explain the situation. They had the vice president, the CFO, the CEO all ready to go. They asked if they could prove it. The Bank Breezy team was able to get that done. So congratulations to the Bank Breezy team and the broker and everyone else there in the B lender team. So guys, now moving forward, I want to get into what the subject of the day is. And I want to share this because I take it to heart. I love this mentality and this exercise of pushing the needle forward. As you know, when you're driving a vehicle and you want to get to point A to point B, the only way to get to point A to point B is stepping on that gas pedal. And by stepping on that gas pedal, you're going to be moving the needle forward, and that's the speedometer to go to point B, right? If in a pressure gauge, right? The needle of a pressure gauge is only going to move up and forward with pressure. In a thermometer, the needle of a thermometer is only going to move forward or go up with heat, right? So how can we translate this to our DAC business in our day-to-day, whether it's speaking to clients to secure and help business owners, or whether it's to build our DAC agency, support our brokers and build a team of brokers, right? So how do we translate this? Well, pushing the needle forward is executing consistently on critical tasks on a day-to-day basis, so we can push that needle forward towards the results that we want and towards the goals that we have set out for ourselves, right? So how can this work out for all of us? We're pushing the needle forward when we're having a conversation with a business owner face to face, introducing ourselves, when we're giving them a phone call, introducing ourselves, doing a follow-up call, right? We are pushing the needle forward when we are present with a business owner, referring them business, right? We're pushing the needle forward there. We're getting engagement. We're pushing that towards the results that we want for ourselves and also for our clients, right? So also another example, when we're out in networking events such as Ellen Wind and other brokers that do such a great job in this Chamber of Commerce meetings, when you attend that Chamber of Commerce meeting and you're speaking in front of all these other professionals and business owners and getting the word out, you're pushing the needle forward in your DAC business. And even though you may not physically see that needle moving forward, such as in a car speedometer, but the invisible needle is being pushed forward because you are creating that momentum through those critical tasks, through that activity that you put in the day-to-day basis, right? So how can we translate this to our DAC brokerage, building a DAC agency? Well, simply supporting our brokers, doing a one-on-one game plan with our brokers. You're pushing the needle forward towards the results that you want for your broker and in your team. Bringing on and introducing other professionals to this opportunity, to the DAC opportunity. You're pushing the needle forward toward to your DAC brokerage, right? Your agency builder. So you can see how through activity, the execution of consistent activity, the execution of consistent critical tasks on a day-to-day basis will push that needle forward in your DAC business toward the results you want and build that invisible momentum that we frequently speak about, right? So something that we can all do to push the needle forward in our DAC business, a practical example and system that we can implement to ensure this success, to ensure this needle being pushed forward, to ensure the momentum being built so we can receive the results that we're looking for, is putting out and understanding before you start the day, having a very clear plan of what your critical tasks will be for that day, right? And what we don't want to do is overload ourselves with critical tasks. We want to have a simple 3 to 5 or 2 to 4 critical tasks on a sheet of paper or on an Excel, wherever you feel more organized. But you want to have a clear system of what you're going to do in that day to accomplish those critical tasks so you can start building that momentum, pushing the needle forward towards your DAC business. I can give you an example. One can be have 5 business owner conversations and also send out 10 emails, 10 follow-up emails with businesses I spoke to in the past. Another one can be, you can add to that to make it 3 critical tasks, have a one-on-one game plan with one of my brokers, or reach out to an insurance professional to introduce the DAC opportunity, right? So what you want to do is have a clear understanding of what it is you're going to do in that day, how you're going to tackle the day, what is the activity that you're going to put into that day. You want to have that on a clear visual of what that's going to be, and you want to make sure you go get it and give it everything you got to accomplish that goal. Because once you do that the first day, you do it the second day, and the third day, and the fourth day. And as you complete each critical task every single day, you start to build that momentum, the needle starts to push forward, and you are going to start seeing positive receptions, and results that you are looking for in your DAC business. So the challenge for the day, guys, write down at least, make it simple so you can have something to accomplish. Since it's it's 11:30 a.m. Eastern, write down 1 to 3 critical tasks you want to accomplish today, and go accomplish it. And we can make it easy. If you want to make it easy so you can accomplish it because you have a limited time, make it 5 emails. Make 5 emails to potential business clients, to business owners in my area. 1, reach out to a professional that I would like to introduce them with the opportunity. And also 1 conversation over the phone or a walk-in person with a business owner in my local community, right? Those are critical tasks. That's activity that's very achievable in a day-to-day period. And obviously we all have different time frames and different availabilities in our day. So structure that list of those critical tasks depending on what your availability is. And don't be discouraged if you do not reach it that day. Simply, when you are revisiting that piece of paper of those critical tasks that night, readjust for the next day. Make it a little slightly more achievable based on what your available time is. So the next day, you go at it again. But the most important part is, if you do not reach some reason that goal that you put out for yourself, there's no need to be discouraged because you did everything you could to do it, right? Maybe there's some reason business owner simply didn't answer the phone, or you just walked into several businesses and the business owner was not there. You still did the work that brings the results later. So, or you called your broker and they couldn't answer the phone, they couldn't speak right now, right? So you reschedule to have that conversation the next day. You did the work and you're doing the activity that is required to succeed in DAC. So write down those few critical tasks to execute today so you can push the needle forward in your DAC business. Hope that helps, guys. I'm fired up. Let's break in 3, 2, 1.